Today, I want to go over some exercises that can be helpful for people who suffer from headaches, migraines. So, whether or not your headaches are stress induced, I like to teach these 3 simple neck exercises that can be very, very helpful. So, the first one we're going to do is we're going to take our ear and we're just going to bring it to the shoulder on the same side. And so notice when you do this, if you tend to want to turn your neck up towards the sky or down towards the ground. We just want to keep the chin pointing straight ahead. We're keeping a little bit of heaviness in the elbows, shoulders are relaxed as possible. Now, if you feel a stretch here, so in my body, I'm feeling this all the way from right behind my jaw all the way into the top of my shoulder. So if you feel some tension here, you're welcome to stay and breathe. If you want a little bit more, then we're going to gently place our hand on top of our head. And we're not pulling our head, we're just allowing the weight of our arm to increase that stretch just a little bit. And I recommend staying here for at least 30 seconds. If you don't like to count, you can take 3 nice deep breaths here. Eyes can be opened or closed. And then we'll slowly come all the way back up. And then we'll repeat that same stretch on the other side. So this time I'm going to bring my right ear to my right shoulder and just kind of notice how that feels. If this is enough for you, you can stay here. If you want to add a little bit of weight from the arm, you'll just gently place your hand on the top of your head. So again, we're not forcing, we're not pulling. Trying to sit up nice and tall in a comfortable seat of your choice. And then slowly coming all the way back up. So that specifically stretches your traps that go all the way from the back of your neck down into your shoulders, specifically your upper traps. So for our next stretch, we're going to work on the levator scap. So this muscle goes from the back of the neck all the way into the top of the shoulder blade, kind of on the inner border or the medial border. So what we'll do is we'll take our head and we're going to turn it all the way to look past the opposite shoulder. Then from here, we're going to look down, almost like you're looking towards your armpit or the ground. And then we'll take the hand that's on the same side that you're facing, and we'll gently place the hand on our head. Again, we're not pulling our neck, we're just using the weight of the arm. So it almost looks like you're taking a whiff of your armpit. And you'll feel this a little bit more towards the back of the neck compared to the last stretch that we did. Taking nice deep breaths, being gentle. We'll slowly come all the way back up. So just move nice and slow to make sure everything feels okay. So we're going to repeat that same stretch on the opposite side. So I'm going to take my gaze over past my opposite shoulder. Then I'll take my gaze down towards the ground or towards my armpit. And finally, I'll take the hand on the same side and gently rest it on my head. I have a history of migraines, and I also get a lot of tension headaches, so I'm very familiar with these stretches specifically, and I love to teach them to my clients when I see them in person. So our final stretch is going to be working a little bit more on the front. So this is your sternocleidomastoid. So it goes from the back of your jaw all the way into your collarbone and into the front of your shoulder. So we are going to take our gaze over towards the opposite shoulder, and we're just going to rest here. So again, just notice if your chin wants to tilt up or down with this one. And we're not cranking the neck, we're just kind of finding where the resistance begins in that front of the neck on the opposite side. So I'm looking over towards my left, so I'm stretching the right side of my neck. And just breathing. If this is a little too much for you, you're welcome to do this on your back. So I'm just coming over to the other side. Again, just being mindful of my posture, sitting up as tall as I can. If I'm in sitting. If you're laying down, you may need a pillow underneath your head depending on how much support you need. Some people find it more comfortable to go without a pillow. So just find what feels comfortable for you. When you're performing these stretches, just kind of taking a moment to compare the different sensations on each side. Maybe you tend to have headaches on one side, maybe it alternates. And then we'll slowly come back through center. So these stretches can also be very helpful for people who have some abdominal weakness, so they tend to overuse their neck muscles, their accessory respiratory muscles to assist with abdominal strength. I just did a leg day yesterday, and that seemed to trigger my upper trap tightness. So whether or not you have headaches, these exercises and these stretches can be very helpful during periods of increased tension or increased stress. Feel free to perform these stretches more regularly, or you can just perform them maybe once a week, just to kind of maintain the mobility in your neck.